Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lema, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger with SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, May 11th through Sunday, May 17th, 2015. Be sure to also go back and look at the monthly angel card reading for the month of May, because that's going to give you a nice overview of the whole month, and also to go on to angelmessenger.net and read my most recent angelic astrology article for the month of May, because both the monthly video and that angelic astrology article will give you a better, more detailed look of the whole month. Now for this week in question, again, we're dealing with May 11th through May 17th, 2015, and I do feel like I need to say that last week, it seems, was pretty challenging for a lot of people. I have had a lot of people contacting me through email and Facebook, and even leaving messages on YouTube, as far as some of the challenges that came up for them during the last week. And I have to say, myself, I went through some things. So I think it's important to remember that we have to all move forward, and this is part of our evolution and growth. And some of these things that appear as challenges are learning lessons, some things that we may need to integrate into our soul beingness, or things that we perhaps need to let go of so that we can open up our energy for something new to come in. But let's start by taking a look at the weekly energies, astrologically speaking, for this week. So when we begin with Monday, the 11th, we have the planet Mars, which is our planet of action and energy and moving forward. And it's going to be moving out of Taurus and into the sign of Gemini. Now, while it was in Taurus, there was slow and steady movement, but things weren't maybe moving very fast. You know, Taurus is a sign that likes to move kind of at its own pace and at its own timing. With Mars going into Gemini, things are going to speed up and start to happen faster, but the thing is that Gemini is a mutable air sign. So I feel like we're going to have many things happening at once. Because Gemini is the sign of the twins, we may be faced with energy of two different directions or two different paths, or needing to make a decision between two or more, various energies. So even though things may speed up, I feel like it's going to be a little bit chaotic, a little bit hectic, and a little bit ungrounded as far as which way to go or what decision to make. Now also, as we get into later on the day Monday and moving into Tuesday the 12th, and this is depending on what part of the world you're in, but the moon is in the sign of Pisces, and it is going to be making several aspects to different planets between Monday evening and throughout the day Tuesday, and these aspects, most of them are pretty challenging. We have the moon in Pisces, which already is kind of imaginative and very intuitive on the positive end, but on a less than positive note, it can be dreamy and ungrounded and prone to fantasy and confused, and just, again, not really knowing, what the truth is, or not really knowing what your own feelings are. And it's going to be making a challenging aspect to Mars right after Mars goes into Gemini. And then it goes on to make a challenging aspect with the planet Saturn, which is about lessons and karmic energies. It will then conjunct Neptune, which is great for artistic and intuitive and psychic types of energies. But as far as knowing what you're feeling emotionally, again, you're going to feel probably a lot of confusion and not being certain or sure of where your feelings are at. And then after that, it goes on to make a challenging square aspect to Mercury, which is our mind, our logic, our intellect. So I really feel like Monday and Tuesday, with all of these things happening, that we might just feel, again, a little scattered, a little unsure, confused and ungrounded, and that's not to say that there's not a purpose for that. I think looking at all of our various options, and maybe we need to make lists, and make lists of what our options are, or the pros and the cons to different decisions or different paths that we can take would be very beneficial. And then I'm going to skip all the way to Friday the 15th because there's not really any major things happening on Wednesday and Thursday. But as we get into Friday the 15th, Mars then is directly opposing Saturn. Now it's going to be building up towards that from the beginning of the week until Friday. So you're going to feel that. And again, Mars in Gemini, wanting to go in different directions or having a lot of things going on at once. And Saturn is in Sagittarius, which is teaching us about being open to blessings, but some of those blessings are hidden through karmic lessons and circumstances. So with this Mars opposing Saturn on Friday, and we also will have, by that time, the moon will have gone into Aries, but it will be making a square to Pluto and a conjunction or meeting up with the planet Uranus. So again, there's going to be a lot of transformation, a lot of change, a lot of redirection. And I'm not really sure that we're going to have total control over what that direction and transformation is, just because Mars in Gemini is opposing Saturn. So I feel like we're going to be like karmically redirected, and we just kind of have to go with the flow. A lot of what I'm talking about so far all week seems to be this going with the flow kind of energy, and just letting Spirit guide us, you know, trusting and having faith. This is huge for trusting and having faith. And if you did read my monthly article or watch the monthly video angel card reading for May, you'll know that this is a 13 karmic month, which is hugely about inner transformation. We're going through a huge inner transformation and change, and we're shedding old energies that are no longer needed so we can get ready to kind of rebirth and open up to new energies, a new direction, or a whole new way of being. Now, as we go into Saturday the 16th, this is one of the most positive energies of the week, as Venus, planet of love and relationships, is in a positive aspect to Neptune. Now, this is really wonderful for unconditional love and for falling in love and feeling romantic and feeling the sense of that fantasy kind of energy as far as, you know, love and good feelings, good emotions. I wouldn't make any decisions about relationships, only because we're feeling so good that we're willing to kind of wear blinders during this time. A lot of times with Venus connecting with Neptune, we are wearing rose-colored glasses and we're seeing, you know, the fantasy of it all, which there's nothing wrong with. But as far as making an important life decision, you know, based on relationship matters or even money matters or matters pertaining to your values or your life path, I just feel like it's best left until a later time. And especially because as we move into Sunday, the 17th, we're getting ready for a new moon. So this whole week, we're in this waning phase of the moon where we're letting go and we're releasing old energies from when we had that full moon in Scorpio. Remember, that was a pretty intense time. So it's this releasing, purging until we get into Sunday's new moon. Now, depending on what part of the world you are in or living in, this new moon will happen either Sunday or it may even occur Monday for those of you that are more towards Australia, New Zealand area. So anyway, this new moon is going to be in Taurus. It's at 26 degrees 56 minutes Taurus, which means it's almost at 27 degrees. And the other thing to know about this is that Mercury is also really slowing down, and by Sunday, by the time we have that new moon, Mercury is starting to station to get ready to turn to retrograde motion. Now, it doesn't actually turn retrograde until Monday, but I did want to mention it in this weekly reading so that you can be prepared for that. You know, all the typical things with Mercury retrograde, so you're going to be dealing with mixed messages or missed appointments or things happening with the electronics. But again, remember, Mercury is a time to review and reanalyze and research and, you know, try to go within and understand what's going on internally on the mental realm for yourself. Now, the new moon, again, you know, it's in the sign of Taurus. It's about our values. It's about money. It's about our sense of self-worth. Once we hit that new moon and go into next week, you know, the moon will be waxing, and it'll be time now to start to kind of grow and expand in a new energy and a new direction. So that's a little bit about the astrology for the week. Let's go ahead and start by looking at your stones for the week, for your message of choice or your card of choice this week. We're going to take a look at the first stone here, and this is angelite. And angelite is a light blue stone. It's going to vibrate with the throat chakra. It even can vibrate to the third eye chakra in some cases, but I really feel like this is a stone of communication. You know, it's a stone of being able to clearly communicate with love and compassion what your truth is. The second stone of choice for your special message card is going to be citrine. And citrine is going to vibrate to the solar plexus chakra, which is your center of willpower. And it's the place where you find your sense of courage or strength within, your resolve to move forward. Your last stone of choice, I chose jasper, or I should say the angels chose jasper. This is like a dark reddish, almost not really brown, but it's a real deep dark brick red. And the jasper is going to be a grounding stone. To me, it vibrates to the root chakra, your sense of security and stability and wanting to feel or be grounded, especially in the direction that you wish to move in. So again, your stone of choice for your special message this week is the angelite, the citrine, or the jasper. For this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck as we normally do. And for the special message card, I'm going to be using a new deck. And it is called Amira's Love Oracle. And the little guidebook looks like this. So if you want to look it up online, you can certainly do that. Amira is A-M-I-R-A apostrophe S, Amira's Love Oracle. But we're not going to use it necessarily just regarding relationship matters. These cards or this deck can also be used in general for messages of all types. And I have to thank Amira for sending me this deck. She was just a blessing as she contacted me and actually sent me this deck for me to use in my own readings or in some of the weekly readings. So thank you, Amira. And let's start by shuffling the Angel Tarot card deck. And we're going to call in our angels, guides, master guides, teachers and healers of the highest vibration of light. We call in all of the archangels, the ascended masters. We ask them to bring us whatever messages, wisdom, and knowledge is in everyone's highest and best interest to know according to this weekly reading. Okay, so this one on the bottom touching my hand is calling me. Let's see, we just need one more, and this one's sticking out here. So let's go ahead and see what the angels have to say for this week's reading. Okay, we're going to start with the Seven of Water. The Seven of Water says a complex decision, the need to do some research, and stop procrastinating. So here we have a water card, which is about our emotions and our feelings. And the 7 is usually a number about going within. It's about being quiet, meditating, contemplating, and going within. And it can really bring up some anxiety or, again, confusion. So I really feel like, again, we're dealing with a lot of confusing emotions and feelings this week, or at least at the start of the week, where, again, we have to make a decision, but we're not sure what decision is the best decision. A lot of times I feel like if we're not sure what decision is the best decision for us, then hold off in making that decision, especially, again, as we're getting ready or we're nearing a Mercury retrograde cycle. So if you can, I would wait till after Mercury goes direct to make the decision. Now that's not until the middle of June, so if you can't wait that long for whatever reason, then really just go within and meditate. Connect with your angels and guides. Connect with your higher soul self. Ask God in the universe to come in and show you what the right decision or the right direction or the right path is for you. Ask for some clarity, and you might need to perhaps get out in nature and stand barefoot on the earth or take a relaxing bath just to kind of silence your mind and calm your body and energy so that things can perhaps start to become a little bit more clear. But let's take a look at the second card and see what additional messages we have. Okay, this is the Ten of Air. It seems like I've had this card recently before. I don't know if it was in a weekly or monthly reading or maybe just a personal reading I was doing, but it says the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. So the air suit is about the mind, the ego, the mental realm, you know, and the number 10 is a completion number. So it's a time of getting to the end of this confusion, or getting to the end of a cycle, or the end of coming to some sort of decision that needs to be made. And just like it says, the end of a difficult situation. So there may be some sort of situation in your life, whether it be regarding money, relationship, family, your life path, that is really coming to an end. Like there's needing to be a releasing and letting go, a time to conclude it. And again, it's almost like a relief. You know, this is kind of like a relief card, because it's so hard, especially with that Seven of Water to begin with, because of the confusing feelings and not knowing what the right decision is. But once you make the decision, it's almost like this release, this completion. You know, it's like, you know, you finally made the decision and now you can move forward, just like these two unicorns who break away from the other 8 unicorns that are in the background. These 2 unicorns have made their decision, and they are moving out of the pack, and they're moving forward, and they're moving in a different direction. They've come to a completion of the old energy, and now they can feel a sense of freedom and relief as they move forward. Again, this card says embrace the change and expect things to get better now, and that's exactly what you should be doing in this situation. A lot of times, again, things come to a head and we have all this anxiety and doubt and fear and confusion, but again, once we make the decision and we move forward, things do get better. You know, things start to become more clear, and it was just our ego mind, just like the air suit, the ego mind that was holding us back from making the decision in the first place. Let's look at the last card for the week. Well, this is a nice way to end, because this is the Three of Earth. Right away, I feel like there's growth, there's expansion, there's evolution, there's a new birth of energies here. It says at the bottom, the power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, and being a team player. Now, in regards to this reading, I don't feel like necessarily any of the things that are phrases at the bottom are part of this, but I just think of the number 3, and it's about, again, this expansion and growth and things looking more positive and things looking more joyous. And the earth suit is about manifestation, so we're talking about this growth and expansion being in the earthly realm, according to our goals, according to things that we're physically experiencing, you know, circumstances, situations that we're physically experiencing in our lives. And I look at the symbology, and that's what really speaks to me here, is we have this beautiful butterfly, and we have mountains in the background, and lush green foliage and flowers, and a fairy up here with the butterfly. This is just a very positive, joyous kind of conclusion or movement into a new energy. So I feel like there's a lot of soul growth and evolution that's happening this week through this card and through the message that this card brings. And I feel like, you know, again, these mountains in the background, it just kind of brings in this message of, you know, looking at your long distance plans, your long distance future. What do you desire for yourself in the far distance, and kind of focus on that and intend for that and move towards that. And as you move towards that, again, you're going to feel lighter and more joyful. You'll start to see like colors again. If you notice, this is a very colorful, bright, light kind of card that, again, brings a lot of joy and happiness. So let's look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So again, we're going to give the cards a shuffle here. Kind of just tune in and call into our angels, guides, master guides, healers, and teachers of the light. Those that wish to provide whatever message is in everyone's highest and best interest depending on their stone of choice. And for the angel light people, we have communication. Okay? So this is a twofold message because I feel like communication with other people is important this week, whether it's other people that you need to speak with in order to clarify perhaps a decision that you need to make. Perhaps you need to communicate with those that can support you and support you making a decision, support the direction you're going in. This is also about communication with your higher soul self and connecting with your angels and guides. So all forms of communication are going to be highly important. And remember, Mercury's slowing down this week, so you need to kind of reiterate, if you're communicating with somebody else, what you really mean, because there could be some confusion or misunderstanding. So whether someone's talking to you, clarify what they're saying. If you're talking to someone else, clarify what you're saying and make sure that there's an understanding of what's really being expressed and what's being said. And sometimes, in communications, especially with relationship matters, you might not really know what you're trying to communicate, as I've experienced quite, very recently and lately. So sometimes you just need to say, you know what, I'm really confused too, but this is, in the moment, this is how I'm feeling, or this is what I'm thinking in this moment, even though I still may be a little confused about things. But communication is highly important for you this week. Okay, so for those of you that chose the citrine, I'm just going to take this one because it's sticking out. Okay, this says fair male. Fair male meaning this is a light-complected male, brown or sandy brown blonde hair, light eyes, blue or green eyes. And to me, this is a younger male. This looks like a younger male. Now, if this is a relationship matter, this person might be somehow important in a relationship decision or something that needs to be taken care of as far as relationships are concerned. If you're a parent, this could be about a child too, because it is seemingly a younger man or younger male. And when they say younger, they could be just young in spirit, a young kind of lighthearted, young kind of spirit. Someone with a lot of energy and joy about them. But in some way, this person is going to be important for you this week. Now again, if it doesn't deal specifically with a romantic relationship, it could be a situation regarding family matters or your life path, where you may meet up with this person or need to communicate with this person, connect with this person in some way. But apparently, a person or people is somehow going to assist you, be helpful to you, or somehow be involved in the circumstances of your week. And then for those of you that chose the jasper, I was eyeing this one up earlier, so I'm going to choose this one for jasper. This one says travel. Now, this can actually mean that you're going to be traveling. This could be long distance travel, but it could also be short distance travel. This could also be, though, traveling within your mind, within your imagination, within your meditation, astral traveling at night. But in some way, shape, or form, they also just said movement to me. So travel meaning movement. Again, if it's not physical travel where you're getting in a car, a plane, or a boat and traveling, this is about movement forward, taking an action, even if it's a little step, and kind of, taking that travel movement to further yourself, to kind of reach to new heights. This is kind of what they're saying to me as I watch this plane in the background kind of soaring up in the air, is that you're soaring to new heights. You're expanding your perceptions or expanding your viewpoints. You're allowing other perceptions, belief systems, or ideas to come in, or you may actually, again, like I said, be traveling to some other culture or to meet up with some other people, or somehow travel, is indicated for you in this week. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, if I can help you personally with a reading or a healing session, please check out my services and prices. The descriptions of the services are on my website, sacredsoulempowerment.com. I would love to be able to help you if you feel so guided. I want to take a moment also to send you all much love and light, peace and understanding, healing and compassion. I thank all of you for all of your support, wonderful comments, and all the good energy that you send. So until next week, Blessings of love and light to all.